Everyday life's happening. Some days are more eventful. Others, living protected with insurance you can depend on changes your life for the better. We insure the people and things you care about. Not Agency. We'll help you find the right coverage so when life happens, you have the right insurance protection for your family and business. When life happens, live protected. Agency for all your insurance needs.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Tuesday, March the 8th. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Mel Zelenak, who is a retired professor at Department of Financial Planning with the university. Good to have you here.
Great seeing you.
Yeah, money man Mel Zelenak. You've taught me a thing or two over the years.
Well, you've taught me a thing or two
yeah.
as well.
When I think back of the one big thing that Mel taught me years ago, or suggested years ago, is when you go on vacation and you do a rental car, as long as you have, now you got to check with your own insurance company about this, your automobile insurance company, but as long as you have automobile insurance on your car, it should cover your rental car, and you don't have to take that overpriced $14, $15 a day collision damage waiver. But check with your own insurance company first.
Yeah, it's a good idea to do that. And the rental car companies, I think, are getting far more aggressive in trying scare tactics in order to have you buy that extra stuff.
Yes, they are. And they're also trying to sell you the gas in advance, too. And they're saying that if you do not buy your gas in advance from them, when you fill it up, you have to have a receipt showing that you, within the past 24 hours of your gas, that they don't go by the gauge anymore.
Yeah.
So they're trying all different ways to try to get some extra money.
Yeah, and it's so be cautious of that. And Paul's tip is a good one. Call your insurance company. Make sure you have insurance, especially if you're going into a foreign country, by the way. And sometimes you won't, and they're going to recommend that you buy insurance in that country.
Yeah, the collision damage waiver. Okay, so what are we dealing with today?
All right, Paul, I mentioned to you a few minutes ago that I've been a regular on your show since 1978, believe it or not.
On the old Pepper and Friends show.
The old Pepper and Friends show. I was on twice a month here. Here I'm on about once a month. And generally, I'll get one or two emails, or somebody will stop me on the street or whatever. Last time, I got literally a couple dozen emails or contacts of people wanting to know the address of the two, what I consider to be quality, fee-only financial planners in Colombia, and we don't announce that on the air.
No, we can't do that.
Public radio, but I'm very happy to do that again if somebody wasn't listening in. And again, what I do say, and this is probably, you talked about an important tip I gave you, this is probably the most important tip I've ever given on any of your shows, and that is to avoid financial planners unless they have a fiduciary relationship with you. Now, part of the good news is that fiduciary relationship may come into our accounts, our retirement accounts, because I don't know if you're aware of it. President Obama is trying to get the fiduciary relationship.
I've read that. I've read that. So that the financial advisor is working for you.
And not for the company.
Right.
And I want to give full disclosure, and I've not said this on the air before. My brother was a financial planner all his life. One of my nieces is a financial planner now, and they have good hearts and everything, but you can imagine the discussions we have with them all the time when we meet. So, but anyway, so
if you want more information, you can email Mel.
Mel's Cruises at charter.net, and I'll send you that information.
All right.
Now, the next thing I have, Paul, is a neat website that I don't think we've talked about here, and I do use it more and more frequently.
For airfares.
Airfares, and it's Google. I would Google Matrix Airfare search, or email me, and I'll send the
Matrix Airfare search.
Yes.
And what are you going to find when you go to Matrix Airfare search?
Well, it's within, I used to spend maybe 10 minutes or so trying to find the best deal on an airfare. this one, within less than a minute, once you get accustomed to this, you'll be able to see the very best deals in anywhere in the United States. So, for example, if I'm
Will
flying
it show
out of,
you all the airlines?
yes,
It'll show you.
except for Southwest.
Okay.
I didn't see
But you
Southwest
can't make
on it.
a reservation on this
No,
website.
you cannot.
You have to go directly to the airline.
Yes, but that's fine. And then go to the airline, make sure that they can at least match this. They will be able to match it. Just give them the identical time, the identical airfare. But what is exciting about this, for example, I just randomly did this. Columbia to Tampa, okay, $54 on Frontier. Now, that's not out of Columbia, that's out of St. Louis.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing I do, since the airline goes from, the American Airlines goes from Columbia to O'Hare or Dallas, I pipe in O'Hare as well. It will expand up to 3,000 miles if you like. This website will. So in other words, it will tell me what O'Hare is. Now that's important because let's say one of my favorite places on earth is Reykjavik, Iceland. If you've not been there, it's great. Okay, I piped it in on a regular website. It's $3,679 out of Columbia.
To Reykjavik.
To Reykjavik, one way, okay? At the same time, I put in O'Hare, I put in Kansas City, St. Louis, and so forth, and it does that basically automatically for you. O'Hare, the rate is $312.
Yeah.
So all I need to do, obviously,
Iceland Air.
it is on Icelandic Air.
The reason I know that is because many, many years ago, it had to be 45 years or more ago. The first time I went to Europe.
Did they even have planes back then?
Icelandic Air. We flew from New York to Reykjavik, Iceland to Luxembourg.
Yeah.
And I think the round-trip airfare, now this was in 1970 or 71, was $170-some-odd.
Right, yeah.
Round-trip airfare.
Well, and the other thing they have now, and we talked about this before, they have a free stopover if you're going to Europe. And I would encourage anybody to at least consider that. Reykjavik, Iceland is a dream come true.
Oh, yeah, I remember we stopping there, and it was a real small airport. And when it was time to get back on the airplane, they rang a bell.
Oh, no.
They rang a big bell. It was like a school bell. And you had to go back to the terminal to get on the airplane to fly on to Luxembourg.
I'll give you another tip.
We're almost out of time.
If you're renting an automobile in Reykjavik, go to a dealership, and I have no affiliation with them. It's called SADD, and it's kind of the old Rent-A-Wreck, and they're about the third the price of everybody else in town.
All right, Mel, thank you so much for coming by. Always a pleasure to have you here. Out of time for today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we've got Show Me Opera on. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute Audio. Pat Akers, KBIA. Our floor director is Ariel Sierra. And our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. If there was something you would like to hear, drop me an email. That's pepperp, missouri.edu. Bye-bye.